Maya Angelou is a well-renowned poet born at the tail end of the Roaring Twenties. On April 4, 1928, Maya graced the world with her birth. She lived through a multitude of time periods including the Roaring Twenties, Great Depression, World War II, the Golden Age of Capitalism, the Cultural Decade, the Third Great Awakening, and the Age of the Internet before passing on May 28, 2014. Still I Rise was published on August 12, 1978, during the Great Awakening, where she wrote of the oppression she faced growing up as a Black woman in America. The most prominent literary technique Maya Angelou used in her poem was repetition. She continuously repeated the phrase, "Still I rise," or "I rise," throughout the entire poem.
Swelling and swelling and bearing in the tide, leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak miraculously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the hope and the dream of the slave.
Another popular literary technique Angelou used was figurative language. She included a selection of similes and metaphors.
You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust, I'll rise. Does my sexiness offend you? Oh. Does it come as a surprise that I dance as if I have diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? A black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling and bearing in the tide, leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise.
Alliteration was used in the 8th stanza to emphasize the rising out of the oppression that her people were forced to undergo throughout history.
Out of the huts of history's shame I rise, up from a past rooted in pain.
The final literary technique I found was imagery. Maya Angelou includes a description of the sun, moon, and tides. The sun and moon are a callback to her ancestors, while the tides are a form of metaphor for the hope that she gained.
Just like moons and like suns with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I rise. Did you want?
But why is it so good? For me, I love her use of repetition and figurative language. Her subtle sass and focus on the many forms of repression she faced was written beautifully. It evokes great emotion from me, including sympathy, empathy, grief, and joy, all in one